Weather still looks good. 19 minutes remaining in the hold. Today, a total of about 9 Raywinson weather balloons were released, which collect data on temperature, humidity, wind speed and direction, and barometric pressure up to about 100,000 feet. And 6 Gymspheres were also released to provide highly accurate data on wind speed and direction up to about 60,000 feet. That data is used very late in the countdown so that the flight dynamics officer can select the proper computer program that will allow the space shuttle's onboard computers to respond properly to the wind conditions as it climbs through the lower atmosphere. Meanwhile, the weather at the overseas transatlantic emergency sites has been watched very closely during the countdown by the NOAA National Weather Service Spaceflight Meteorology Group located at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. They forecast the weather for landing once the space shuttle lifts off, no matter where it should land.
CMQCNTD. Go ahead. That constraint should be gone now. Copy, thank you. MTD, CMQC, I can confirm the constraints been removed. Copy, I show a clear constraints list. That's affirmed, sir.
All communications here in the firing room has switched over to the air-to-ground channel, so any discussion that's going on, we're hearing on this channel. And of course, right now we're not hearing any, which is a good indication that we're in a good posture for a launch at 2:28 this morning. "15 minutes remaining in the hold.
OTC, CHTD.
Go ahead.
I can give you step 1134, confidence checks complete.
Okay, copy. 1134 CNQC. Copy. Houston Flight NTD.
NTD, Houston Flight, go ahead.
Do you think we're going to need the ascent data crew update?
Negative, that is not required today.
Copies. 1110 not performed. Copy.
Launch Director Mike Leinbach has just gotten a quick update on the weather from Shuttle Weather Officer Todd McNamara, and everything is stable, pretty much as it has been. Still not any red constraints on the board. Lowest clouds right now are between 6,300 and 6,500 feet, and forecast not to go any lower than 6,000. Shuttle training aircraft with astronaut Steve Lindsay shooting approaches is now going out to his terminal support point into a racetrack pattern off at some distance from the launch pad to be in place to observe the launch. Ten minutes remaining in this planned built-in hold.
MS1, OTC, underground 1. Go ahead, Freeman 1. Activate D10 recorder. In work. Step 1117. Copy.
NTD, range weather on 212.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just making sure we had comm. I hadn't heard any chatter. I thought I might have a comm problem. Oh, well.
No, this is a good thing this time. OTC, MS1, the V10 recorder is activated. Copy.
Eight minutes remaining in this planned 45-minute built-in hold. The airspace and offshore areas have been confirmed clear for launch by the range.
CISL, JRPS and Houston flight. Perform the L-15 recorder activation. ISL? ISL copies. JRPS? JRPS copy. And Houston flight?
Houston flight copies.
And attention on the net. This is the NTD conducting the launch status check. All stations verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC? OTC is go. TVC? TVC is go. PTC? PTC is go. LPS? LPS is go. Houston flight?
Houston flight is go.
Mila?
Milo's go.
STM? STM is go. Safety console? Safety is go. SPE? SPE is go. LRD? LRD is go. SRO? SRO is go. You have a range clear to launch. And CDR? CDR is go. Launch director entity? Launch director. The launch team is ready to proceed.
Okay, I copy, Steve. Thank you. Chief Processing Engineer, verify no constraints to launch.
No constraints, Mike. We're ready.
Okay, Charlie, thanks. KC Safety and Mission Assurance.
KC Safety and Mission Assurance is ready to go, Mike.
Thank you. Payload Launch Manager.
Okay, Mike, on behalf of our international partners from the Japanese and Canadian Space Agency, your ISS team is ready to proceed.
Okay, thanks, Gennaro. Range weather.
Weather has no constraints for launch.
Thank you, Todd. And Ops Manager.
The launch director, ops manager, Mike, the A.M.E.T is not working any issues. You are go for launch.
Thank you, sir. Endeavor Launch Director.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, Dom, vehicle's in great shape. The weather is go. In fact, there should be an interesting sight for you to punch through the clouds tonight. So on behalf of the KSC launch team, I'd like to wish you good luck, Godspeed, and we'll see you back here in 16 days.
Well, Mike, you just made people smile around the world, and you've got 7 smiling faces on board here. We'd like to give a special thanks to our families, KSC's Endeavor whole crew, our friends at Houston and Canada, and for JAXA, we'd like to say konnichiwa, domo arigato, and banzai. God truly has blessed us with a beautiful night here, Mike, to launch, so let's light him up and give him a show.
That sounds great, Dom. Thank you very much. Good luck to y'all. And NTD, with that, you are clear to launch Endeavor.
Copy, clear to launch. Thank you.
3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the built-in hold.
Attention on the net, the countdown clock will start in 3 minutes.
Two minutes until release of the hold. Once we come out of the hold, we'll be activating the onboard flight data recorders.
NTD ISO.
Go ahead.
I can give you step 1118. Power activation complete.
Copy, activation complete. The countdown clock will start in 1 minute.
NTD CCSC.
Go ahead.
I just requested to perform a quick comm check on the air-to-air UHF with the crew.
Copy. Go ahead.
And we'll pick up in 30 seconds.
Get your loud clear on the air-to-air.
Once we come out of the countdown, the ground launch sequencer will be controlling. 10 seconds.
The countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus 9 minutes and counting.
GLS auto sequence has been initiated.
Computers in the firing room now controlling. They will hand off to Endeavor's computers at T-minus 31 seconds.
PLT OTC connect to central buses to fuel cells per your checklist.
OTC, PLT, that's in work.
The crew access arm will be retracted in about 30 seconds.
GLS is go for orbiter access arm retract.
Endeavor OTC, we celebrate your international mission as you expand the station into our first global village in space.
Okay, Endeavor copies.
That was orbiter test conductor Jeff Loffer from United Space Alliance. We'll be going into the pre-start of the auxiliary power units. The pilot will be commanded to do that task in about half a minute.
JRPS OTC, start APU display recorders. JRPS copy. JRPS copy, recorders running. PLT OTC, perform APU pre-start. OTC, PLT, that's in work. OTC, PLT, APU pre-start complete, 3 gray talkbacks. Copy.
APUs will be started at T-minus 5 minutes in less than 30 seconds. We'll be starting the data recorders here in the firing room at that time and arming the solid rocket booster safe and arm devices. T-minus 5 minutes and counting.
CLS's go for orbiter APU start.
PLT OTC, perform APU start. OTC, PLT, that's in work. CDR OTC, reconfigure heaters. CDR, Wilco.
Terminating LOX replenishment at this time, starting liquid oxygen drain back. We'll be starting the final main engine helium purge of the main engines.
Start is complete and the heater reconfig is also complete. Copy.
CLS's go for purge sequence 4.
That's the main engine helium purge. Starting the orbiter aerosurface profile test of the flight controls. And in less than 10 seconds, we'll be configuring the main engines. We'll be putting the engines through a steering check before we put them in start position. See them now going through a gimbal check or a steering test. Back now in the start position.
CLS's go for ET LO2 pressurization.
PLT OTC, clear, caution, warning memory, verify no unexpected errors. OTC, PLT, that's in work.
About to retract the gaseous oxygen vent arm or the beanie cap.
OTC, PLT, caution and warning memory is clear with no unexpected errors. Copy, and Endeavor, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow. Endeavor copies visors and O2 flow, thanks.
CLS is go for ET, LH2, pressurization.
Minute, 30 seconds.
Still showing no constraints to launch. T-minus 1 minute and counting. Final steering check of the solid rocket booster commands is being performed. Turning off the SRB joint heaters. Closing the liquid oxygen and LH2 fill and drain valves. Coming up on the handoff to Endeavour. T-minus 31 seconds. The handoff has occurred.
Auto sequence start.
25. 20.
SRB nozzle gimbal check. Arming the firing chain now. Sound suppression water system is armed. Rain safety systems armed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of Endeavour, going where east and west do meet at the International Space Station.
Houston now controlling.
Houston Endeavour, roll program.
Roger, roll, Endeavour.
The roll maneuver is complete. Endeavour is in a heads down position on course for a 51.6 degree, 136 by 36 statute mile orbit. The Florida coast gets an early sunrise as Endeavour heads out on a course to intercept the International Space Station in a day and a half.
Endeavour, your go at throttle up. There's no action on the left RCS messages. We'll have words later.
Go at throttle up. Copy, no action on the RCS message match.
Endeavour's heading out 51,000 feet in altitude, 10 miles from the Kennedy Space Center, downrange 11 miles. Three hydraulic systems in good shape, as are the electricity producing fuel cells. Three good main engines at 104% of rated thrust. Coming up on staging, the burnout of these twin solid rocket boosters at 2 minutes 5 seconds. SRB separation confirmed. The onboard guidance system has done its job of settling out any of the dispersions introduced at booster separation. Endeavour is 50 miles from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 200,000 feet or 38 miles, traveling 3,900 miles per hour.
Endeavour, 2-engine Zaragoza.
2-engine Zaragoza.
Three good main engines, but Endeavour can reach Zaragoza in Spain in the event of a single engine failure. Time 3 minutes into the flight. Endeavour is traveling 4,300 miles per hour, 82 miles from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 48 miles. All systems aboard the shuttle are in good shape. The three main engines still at 104% of rated thrust, three good hydraulic systems and fuel cells producing electricity for the vehicle. 3.5 minutes into the flight, Endeavour is 115 miles downrange at an altitude of 55 miles or approaching 300,000 feet.
Endeavour, negative return.
Endeavour is negative return.
Endeavour for Dom, the FES is shut down. We'll take step 1 of evap out T high.
Evap out T high, step 1.
Endeavour can no longer return to the Kennedy Space Center in the event of an engine failure, but all three are in good shape. Crew performing a procedure to recover the flash evaporator system. That's no issue for launch. The vehicle is 214 miles downrange.
Endeavour, press to ATO.
Endeavour copies. Press to ATO.
Endeavour can reach orbit on 2 engines should one fail. However, all 3 are still at full throttle. Time 5 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Endeavour is 294 miles downrange at an altitude of 67 miles.
Endeavour, single engine ops 3.
Endeavour, single engine ops 3.
Endeavour, press to MECO and single engine Zaragoza 104.
Endeavour, press to MECO, single engine Zaragoza 104.
Endeavour can reach a safe orbit on 2 engines now as the vehicle is rolling to a heads-up position for good communications through the tracking and data relay satellite system.
Endeavour, your shutdown plan is nominal. You are go for the plus X, no go for the pitch.
And go for the plus X.
Six minutes, 45 seconds into the flight. Endeavour is 486 miles from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 65 miles.
Endeavour, single engine press 104.
Endeavour, single engine press 104.
And Endeavour can reach orbit on 1 engine should 2 fail at this point, but all 3 are still performing well.
Okay, Jim, thanks.
Flash evaporator system operating in its backup or standby or secondary system. All cooling on board in good shape. Hydraulic systems, fuel cells also in good shape. 7 minutes, 30 seconds into the flight. Standing by for throttling to maintain the 3 times gravity on the vehicle and the crew on board. Endeavour is traveling 16,000 miles per hour, downrange 780 miles, altitude 64 miles. Standing by for main engine cutoff confirmation. Main engine cutoff confirmed. Standing by for separation from the external tank. Endeavour flying away from the external tank. The new flash system illuminating the external tank as the orbiter moves away from...
Nominal MECO, OMS 1 is not required.
Endeavour copies. OMS 1 not required.
And Dom, we have no follow-ups for you at this time for evap out T-high or left RCS jets.
Endeavour copies. Thanks, Jim.
Flight Director Brian Lunny polling his ascent team for any deltas to the ascent checklist now that Endeavour is safely on orbit. System that's essentially to provide cooling through the flash evaporator system until the payload bay doors are opened and the radiators are activated that line each of the right and left payload bay doors. The vehicle's getting good cooling and all the other systems are in good shape. They're evaluating the signatures that were seen on some of the left RCS jets during the ascent. Early indications are that it is being traced to a card in electronics box. More information obviously will be forthcoming after the data is looked at, but it had no issue whatsoever with the safe ascent of Endeavour and insertion into orbit. The next on-orbit maneuver will be the OMS 2 or orbital maneuvering system burn upcoming in just under 26 minutes that will basically put Endeavour in an operational orbit. The flight controllers see good cooling on all three of the auxiliary power units. So shortly the crew will be given a go to shut those down.
Endeavour Houston for the white pages.
Go ahead, Jim.
Dom, you have a go for APU hide shutdown when you get there. On page 3-4, tail-only control is not required. Under FES and heater activation, you can delete the L1 step. We'll take AC bus sensors as written, and we'll be ready for 1:05 on time.
Jim, we copy all. On the FES and heater, we're going to delete the L1 step.
That's a good readback, Dom.
The 3 hydraulic systems aboard Endeavour have now been shut down. They will remain off until used the day before landing. One of those will be powered up for the day before landing checkouts of the flight control systems. Targeting the orbital maneuvering system engine burn for about 21.5 minutes from now. That will put Endeavour in an operational orbit.
Houston, in 1 minute, we will be unable to speak to you for 1 minute due to spreading.
Endeavour, copy.
And Dom, just a quick tag up on OMS 2. Your TIG right now is 38:30. We expect to burn the onboard targets. And for pages 3-6 and 3-7, we have no deltas.
Jim, we copy 38:30 and no deltas on 3-6 or 7.
That's a good readback.
Spacecraft communicator Jim Dutton providing updates to the crew on the upcoming OMS 2 burn that will put Endeavour in a 140 by 98 statute mile operational orbit as it begins its chase to catch up with the International Space Station. Also, the spreading call means that the communications signal is being spread across the rather than targeting so that doesn't interfere with any telecommunications systems over Europe.
Houston Endeavor, here comes Ops 105.
Copy, Endeavor, we're watching.
Endeavor's launch on time at 1:28 and 14 seconds Central Daylight Time Tuesday puts it on course to rendezvous and dock with the International Space Station. On Wednesday evening, the approximate docking time 10:20 p.m. Central Time Wednesday.
Endeavor for Dom, we like your onboard targets. We would like to update your TIG to 38:30, and then we'll be ready for you to load.
Copy, 3830 and ready to load.
That's a good readback box.
The Ascent Flight Control Team here in Mission Control Houston on consoles Monday evening about 7:30 to oversee the safe launch of Endeavor this morning. The Environmental Systems Officer here in Mission Control discussing with Flight Director Brian Lunny a procedure to check out the primary A system of the flash evaporator system on board the vehicle used for cooling when the payload bay doors are closed. They'll perform that checkout after the doors are opened and the radiators are activated, providing cooling through the radiator system and the Freon coolant loops. The flash evaporator system operating fine on the backup or the Pry B system right now.
Houston Endeavor, com check on the headset.
Endeavor Houston, we've got you loud and clear. How us?
Loud and clear, Jim. We're going to load them up. Targets, we got 3830 in there.
That sounds great, Dom. Endeavor Commander Dom Gorie on his fourth voyage into space, loading the targets for the upcoming orbital maneuvering system burn. The OMS burn fires the twin OMS engines, one on either side of the tail, each producing about 6,000 pounds of thrust. Endeavor Houston, for the white pages, page 3-8, we have no deltas, and we're ready for the maneuver when you are.
Okay, Jim, on 3-8, we'll press on.
And we're standing by to switch back to the Kennedy Space Center for launch replays of Endeavor's climb to orbit just 26 minutes ago, as the crew continues to step through procedures headed toward the upcoming operational orbital burn with the orbital maneuvering system engines. That burn upcoming in 12.5 minutes.
Houston, ET doors are coming close.
Copy, Dom. We're watching.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we continue to enjoy replays of Endeavor's launch 37 minutes ago, all is ready for the upcoming orbital maneuvering system burn 1 minute 20 seconds from now. That to put Endeavor in an operational orbit. The orbital maneuvering system engine burn is in progress. It's targeted to last a little more than 1 minute and will put Endeavor in an operational orbit of about 140 by 95 statute miles. That highly elliptical orbit will allow Endeavor to begin the chase to catch up with the International Space Station, which is currently passing high above the launch site.